Way of Central Texas. We are, you've been in the community for so many years, but I would say in 2012, we made a significant change from community chest to community impact. And while we still raise funds and distribute them to partnering agencies in the community, it's through the lens of community impact and measurable outcomes in the areas that our community has come together and identified as greatest need. And those are health, education, and financial stability, which are all linked together. We certainly focus in on basic needs as well, or we know that when basic needs aren't met, that we can't begin to address health, education, and financial stability. So basic needs and having basic needs met in our community is a very important part of the work that United Way focuses in on. And one of those focuses the last few months has certainly been the COVID relief fund to help individuals impacted by the loss of income with assistance for bills and utilities. The United Way of Central Texas has raised $60,000 to help with individuals and families pay their rent, their utilities. Actually, for our fund, we're helping with car payments or internets and things like that that are critical in keeping folks stable. We also partnered with the City of Temple, and we are administering the Community Development Block Grant Funds, and that's about $298,000. And that is also for City of Temple residents that need help with rent and mortgage and or utilities. We've been paying up to 3 months. So that's been significant to help people, because what we want to do is if they're struggling to pay that rent, here we are, if you think about it, we're at July the 27th, August is just right around the corner. And if they can't make this July, now they're going to be behind 2 months. So we've been paying anywhere from 1 to 3 months to get people caught up and get them on their feet so that they can go, move forward and not remain behind. Those applications are on our website. Again, we're partnering with the City of Temple and the City of Belton for those communities, as well as our fund is servicing all of Bell County. We partnered with the City of Temple again with some additional CDBG funds and the Temple Chamber of Commerce for a small business grant program. That went live last week, and that application's on our website as well to help small businesses with some of those same types of situations with their bills. We also have a hotline, 211 hotline, that many of our referrals for the COVID Relief Fund are actually coming from. This is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week help hotline. Again, the number is 211. The call center for our 7-county region is inside our building in downtown Temple. Our weekend and night calls roll to Houston. That's kind of the mothership for 211 for the nation, and all of the after hours go there. And so that way individuals can still get the help they need at any time of day. And it's any kind of help. So, there's so many resources out there. If someone's lost a job, or if someone needs help with Meals on Wheels, someone has an elderly parent that they need some sort of assistance with. Again, food insecurities, domestic violence, educational opportunities, funds to help with bills. Just call 211, because it's hard to know all the resources that are in our community. I don't know them all. So many come up, and some are active one day, but maybe in a couple weeks they'll run out of funds and they're not active. It's hard to keep up with all that, but our 211 system does. So you can call, again, 211 24/7 and get the help that you need there. Another program I wanted to mention real quickly that I don't think I mentioned earlier was our Bridges to Health and Wellness. And that is a great program for individuals that need help with prescription medications. So if you know of someone that is struggling to get those prescription medications paid for, or maybe it's durable medical equipment that they need, CPAP machine or a walker, or we've got so many different needs in that area. We also have funds and support for that. And that just is coming to our website or calling our office. And we can get one of our case managers connected with the individual to meet their needs. I think I've hit the highlights, Benny. Did I miss anything?
Thank you. Yeah, everything. But there was a question that someone shot me.
Mhm.
They asked if a person applies for the rent assistance, how long will they find out if they're going to be helped, and what usually happens that would stop a person from getting the rent assistance?
So for this particular program, we ask that you give us up to 5 days to verify employment. It's been taking on average anywhere between 48 hours to 3 days, but in our paperwork we ask for up to 5 because we've got so many going. But we there's and a lot of that is making sure we have all the paperwork. And so we have case managers again working with clients to get all that paperwork together so we can get it done as soon as possible. But as soon as that's approved, and I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 days right now is the turnaround, we pay though, we go online and we pay either that rent or mortgage or the utilities. And so it's pretty immediate payment once they're approved. The only, we've had a handful that haven't been approved, and the sole reason has just been that the loss of income has had nothing to do with COVID. And that's one of the top requirements for the program, is that you've had some sort of impact to your income due to the COVID pandemic.
All right. Mr. Jones, want to try this again?
Thank you so much for
Thank
letting
you.
me be a part.
Okay, so today I'll just give an overview of several topics. The first one will be COVID-19 and how it's affecting our organization, a description of PPP loans, some fair lending goals that we have, and also some financial education courses that we have available. So I'll just start out. BancorpSouth is headquartered in Tupelo, Mississippi, and they got to Temple, Texas by purchasing First State Bank and Texas First State Bank. And so they now have about 70 locations in Texas and 310 full service branches over 8 states, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Florida, Tennessee, and Texas. 104 mortgage locations and 4,700 or more employees that work for the company. 23 billion in assets, so we're a large bank, but in small towns, as you can imagine, across those 8 states. Forbes recently named BancorpSouth best state bank in Texas, and also in Tennessee received that same ranking. So let's start with COVID-19. BancorpSouth has prioritized the health and the safety of its teammates and customers, and has continued to do so through the pandemic. So what I discuss as a disclaimer is simply a trend that we might see, but as you know, that changes daily. So don't take any of this down on paper and go to the bank with it, so to say. So in January, our company began communicating COVID to our employees, and a lot of the employees, I don't think, took it serious, but Bancorp always took it serious and continues to do that. What you'll hear today is probably similar to what your financial institution's doing, and that is currently our lobbies are open only by appointment, and our customers are required to wear face coverings, and our employees are required to wear face coverings unless they're in an office by themselves. We have half of our employees working remotely out of the 4,700, and we have paid several 100,000 hours of time away from work to employees. And that's due to not only people having COVID, but family members that have COVID, childcare, their childcare center closed down, the parents that kept their children have COVID, so they couldn't take them there. And it just goes on and on and on, from symptoms in 72 hours that you wait after the symptoms. So millions of dollars in help for those employees. Some trends that we're seeing, and I think some of them may be permanent. We've seen an increase of over 4 times the normal on mobile app usage. ATM deposits are up 125%. Our call center is recording a third more calls. And then no surprise to anyone, decrease in teller transactions and paper check usage. We as a bank continue to review sectors of the economy where we have loans: oil and gas, retail, hospitality like hotels, restaurant, and commercial real estate. And what we're seeing is retail behavior is changing. And so we think some of that may be permanent. We don't know the long-term effect, but some industries are going to take a big hit and a loss, and I don't know if they can recover from that. Several things that we've learned: we've become better at technology. We've accomplished in several months what would have taken years to get, imagine half your workforce working from home. And if you'd have mentioned that idea to us, you would say, there's no way they can work from home and do their job. But sure enough, they're working from home and doing their job. And we've also gotten better at change. So a little bit about the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, authorized up to $660 billion in forgivable loans to small businesses, and it was to help pay their employees during the COVID-19 crisis. It was designed to provide economic support by offering loans to enable the companies to retain their workers and pay for certain operational expenses like rent and utilities. We as a bank appreciate all of the small businesses that chose BancorpSouth to provide their PPP loans. And we're proud to have processed and funded over 14,200 PPP loans for a total of $1.2 billion. These funds were spread and provided over a broad range of industries across our 8-state footprint, most of which are small businesses. Providing the payroll and the working capital necessary to support these businesses within our community has helped retain over 170,000 jobs. 88% of our loans that we did were under $150,000. So the impact was really on small businesses, and most of the small businesses had 30 employees or less. We have continued to accept PPP applications. Only about 50% of SBA preferred lenders are accepting them. We have continued to do that. However, that will end on Friday. So if you have someone that would like to apply for a PPP loan, we can accept that and process it up to Friday. And then August 8th is the deadline set by the government. You have to have an account, which is easy to get. But that's all we ask, and then we process it. And the turnaround time is really, really fast right now because there's so few people doing it. So the next phase of the program is going to be the forgiveness of the loans. And the SBA came out on July 23rd and issued a procedural notice outlining aspects of the program that lenders are going to follow. And more guidance is anticipated, of course, but the SBA announced that it's planning to begin accepting forgiveness applications on August 10th. Now, just like with the application, they set those dates out there, and then everybody wants to get their application processed on that date. But the SBA still has not developed what they call the portal. And so if you remember when the applications came out, there was a lag time from the time that they said we're doing PPP loans to the time that we even could do it, several weeks, I think, because the portal had to be put in place to apply. And then our vendor had to write the software for us to be able to, push out and try to get 14,000 of these loans approved. If you were a bank and you were just doing 5 or 10, okay, you could just input those through their portal, but you couldn't do that with 14,000. So the same is going to happen on the forgiveness. The portal is going to come up and our software is going to connect with that. And we expect it to change just like the application did. From the time it comes out, it's going to change. So we're recommending that if you have a PPP loan, you've got till December. So just give it some time. It may end up helping you out because the terms may get even relaxed even more. So just hang on, let it ride out. One interesting note: if you have a PPP loan that's over 150,000 or more, the government and the SBA is going to publish the names and the amounts of all of those recipients. So that's going to be out there for the public. It may already be. Anything 150,000 or less, they're going to just give totals by zip code, and then the data will be released. Interesting note. So let's move on to the community reinvestment and fair lending goals. BancorpSouth strives to ensure that every consumer and customer receives fair, equitable treatment, and that we have helped the communities that BancorpSouth serves. I want to make a distinction between CRA and fair lending. Community Reinvestment Act focuses on low to moderate income customers, where fair lending focuses on creating opportunities for customers from minority populations. And so we just want to make sure that that we know, that everyone knows that we're actively seeking to increase the bank's market share of minority 1 to 4 family and small business applications. And we hope to do that through partnerships with Benny and the NAACP. So if you have any questions about that, or have an idea about how we can increase that, that is one of our main goals for this year. Also, financial education. Last year, we taught over 50 financial education classes, and the topics available include credit repair, spending and savings, FICO scores, building wealth, borrowing basics. So if you're interested in that, we're doing it by Zoom now, of course, but it's really efficient and works well. And so we'll be happy to do that. My email is robert.jones@bxs.com. That's boy and X-ray Sam, so bxs.com. And if you have any questions or comments, I can take them now, and we can.
Robert, what is an EIDL? What is an EIDL loan?
An EIDL loan?
Yes. That was something. That's something that the government is giving out. Do you know about it?
Is that the SBA EIDL?
Oh, yeah. EDIL maybe?
EIDL, yep.
Yeah, or one of those. Yeah, so that's different than the PPP. That's a loan that you actually have to pay back. So you can apply for that, but there's no forgiveness on it. So it's just a working capital loan, and then you have to set it up on payments. The PPP loan, you do have to pay it back if it's not forgiven, but if you've done what you said you're going to do, and that is pay 75% of your employees and use the other for utilities and rent, then it's forgivable. So those are the two differences.
And the interest on the loan, the PPP?
The PPP is 1% for 5 years if you don't get forgiven.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if you didn't get it forgiven, that's a pretty good term, except that it's only 5 years. So you get 130,000, moved into 5 years, that's pretty big payment.
All right.
Yeah. So you want to try to get it forgiven.
Right.
Brandon has a question.
Yep.
I do have a question. Thank you. Yeah, so in Temple, I work with people who are looking for homes, first-time home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some homes that are a challenge to get approved through some of the national lenders, particularly homes that are in a little bit of a disrepair, but maybe 75 grand, or a mobile home that's not been retrofitted. Some of these properties that many first-time home buyers can afford to pay for in the Temple area, they may struggle to get qualified and are pushed to a local lender. I know that Texel has had some issues within the last few years, not doing enough in terms of loans into those low to moderate income areas. And they've been, I guess, incentivized to do something on that front. And I will say that one of the things that would help me get people into homes for the first time and out of a kind of a bad renting and constantly getting pigeonholed into a rent situation where they're paying much more than what the home is actually worth and into a home they own, is having somebody that's a contact at your bank that we can pick up the phone and call, that is responsive and can follow with somebody from start to finish in a home purchase kind of scenario. And I don't know that I've had that with Bancorp. And I'm wondering if you guys have somebody that's your kind of your go-to person for particularly those low to moderate income kind of properties.
Yeah, we have what we call a community development lender, and he's a mortgage lender, but he specifically handles low to moderate income properties and borrowers. So that's his only job. And he's in Georgetown, but he covers our area. I can get you his names, Carlos. I forget the last name. I forget the last name, but I can get you that person because that's his whole job. So it's mortgage lending, but it's specifically for community development.
Okay, that would be remarkably helpful.
Yeah. The other thing that we do that's a little different is not only do we have the mortgage programs out that go out into the big lenders, but we actually have 1 to 4 family programs that we keep in the bank. And so you get approved by us and the loan stays with us. On top of that, any loan that we do that even goes out and is sold to another lender, we keep the servicing rights. So the customer pays their note payment at our bank for the life of that loan, which is unique.
That is helpful.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I got a question for you. It says grant for small business loans. Do y'all have?
Yes, we do. That's one of the partnerships with the city of Temple. So the application just went live last week, and that will be live for a couple of weeks, I believe, and then we'll close it and review the ones we've received. If we don't receive requests for the money we have, we'll open that back up again, but the application's online. And I believe those grants are up to $5,000.
Robert, it says I was told that you have to use the PPP money. There's a time limit within you have to use that money. Is that true?
Yeah, it was 8 weeks, and they extended it to 12 weeks. So that threw the forgiveness time frame out of whack, but it was 8 weeks. You had to use all your payroll within 8 weeks. So everybody should have already used their money now. That's why the August 10th deadline, and that's why it's all ready for forgiveness. Yep.
Anybody else have any questions?
Robert, will there be the second round of the PPP?
I don't think so. I think they're going to do stimulus, packages, but we're down. I think this last week, company-wide, we might only had 20 apply, so the demand just isn't there. So I don't think they'll continue it.
So you say Friday, huh?
Friday is the deadline. Yeah.
I just got another one for you, Robert.
Okay.
It says this person tried to fill out the form, application form. They said it's very difficult.
Yes.
Is there anything that can be done about that?
I would say call us and we can walk you through it, because just our branch, we've done, I don't know, 50 or 60 or 70 of them. So we're pretty familiar with that app and what you need, the documents you need. but I can get you someone that'll help you go through that. The difficulty is going to be the forgiveness form. To me, is complicated also, and I think in my prediction, I think they're going to have to start once they see people try to apply and it's not right. I think they're going to have to ease that restriction or that application, make it easier. It's very confusing.
Yikes.
All right.
Is that application out yet, Robert?
Yeah, they've posted it online, but we're not taking them yet because we want to just the rules change. Yeah, don't.
Access quite yet.
Yeah. Once again, and they did this with the original application, if you'll remember, they posted them out there and then people completed them and then they changed them.
Yeah.
Which changed up the rules, changed the application. And so there were two different maybe three or four versions. So.
All right, thanks.
Difficult.
Okay, I got another one, Robert.
Yep.
Man, this person said that they have two forms out. Is there a form called the easy form?
Yes. There's a form that if you only had 1099 employees, so you're just self-employed basically yourself. That's the easy form in a generality. And then the normal form is the one where you had employees and you have to prove that you paid them all the money that you got. Well, 70% went to that, and 75, and then your utility bill. So there is two forms. Yeah. The easy form is for, I think, for self-employed and sole proprietors.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything? Well, since we got hacked, we're planning on recording this and we will send it out to all the emails that we have. We're going to have to do this again, and our plan is next time just to use a password. This time we were trying to open it up to everybody, but we're just going to do select people next time because besides these few questions that have been texted to me, I bet you there's other questions out there that people would like to know. So
we're available anytime. I'm available anytime. Thank you.
And Stephanie volunteered to send information that we will send out with this recording.
Yes, I'll get that information to you to attach.
Thank you.
Okay. Any closing remarks from Robert or Stephanie?
No, thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. We're sorry about the hack, but this is the world we're living in.
My goodness.
Yeah.
We're here for what you need. Thank you, Benny.
Thank you. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.